Hey everybody, it is Dave. I am back here at Neighborhood Loans. I got Joey, I got Andrew. Y'all know me. It is Dave with Remax Signature here in the Valley of the Sun. One of the questions that I get asked often, and it has been mistakenly reported, is, Dave, I'm a veteran. Or better yet, Dave, my dad's a veteran. My mom's a veteran. We want to buy a house together. But I'm not a veteran. Can we do that? Can I be on the loan? Can dad or mom be on the loan? They're a veteran. We want to use a VA loan. We hear it's better, yada, yada, yada. Can we do this? And I have had clients repeatedly told, if you're not a veteran, you cannot be on that loan. Now, I scratch my head a little bit because I know for a fact that that's incorrect information.
Yep.
So, who wants to handle it? The VA loan nerd or the investor guy?
His fingers are...
They're twitching.
I'm twitching.
Yeah, right. All right. So, yeah. I mean, very simple. Yes, a non-veteran can be on a VA loan. They don't even have to occupy, okay? So the veteran's going to have to occupy. It's called a joint loan. In this case, it would be a vet, non-vet. There's several ways to run these. Vet, non-vet, non-vet. Vet, vet, non-vet, vet, vet. They're all joint loans. Those are three examples. And the reason that I bring all of them up...
Folks, you've seen this guy on camera at least once before. He's a Marine.
Brain move fast.
And it's like a freaking machine gun going here. Take a deep breath.
He ramps up. He's like, I do.
Yeah, it's what is it? Kinetic, kinetic energy just slowly goes faster. So there's several types of joint loans regarding veteran, non-veteran status. If any veteran is on the loan and their entitlement is being used, they have to occupy. So if it's in this situation, I'll say boyfriend, girlfriend, both veterans, both active duty, and they're using both of their entitlement, split entitlement, they both have to occupy. If it's a vet, non-veteran, also boyfriend, girlfriend, then what we have is the VA saying they will guarantee the veteran's portion of the loan. Okay, so 12.5% down payment. But there's this GSC in the background.
Wait a minute. What the heck are you talking about 12.5%? Because as a veteran, I don't have to put anything down. So if it's a VA loan, I don't have to put any money down.
Right. So
why not zero down, Joey?
Because the VA is only going to guarantee the veteran's half. So the guarantee that the VA offers on VA loans is 25%. Guys, tell me quick math. I know, Soldier Boy. What is half of 25%?
Okay, but you're talking about, folks, 25% is what the VA guarantees, okay? So you've heard about people talking about, well, do I have to put down 5% or do I have to put down 20%? The 20% comes into play when we're talking about what?
Conventional loans and not having mortgage insurance.
Mortgage insurance. So that's what the VA guarantee is actually covering, is that mortgage insurance. So a veteran doesn't pay mortgage insurance. So when we're talking about 12.5% down, half of 25, that's for the non-veteran. So if dad is a veteran and it's father's son that are buying it, dad doesn't have to put any money down, but the son or girlfriend, whatever the case may be, has to come up with 12.5% of 50%. So if it's a $500,000 house, the VA's covering half, which is $250,000.
Yep.
So the other person has to cover 12.5% of their $250,000.
12.5%. Well, it's going to be based off the full purchase price because they're covering 25% of their $250,000. Okay, which is how it boils down to 12.5% of the purchase price. The other piece that doesn't get talked about, because this isn't a clean 12.5%, because there's a GSE, a government service entity behind VA loans. It's Ginnie Mae. Okay, and the way that funding fees get wrapped in, even so, the way it pulls out is closer to
funding fee if you are not a disabled veteran. Okay.
On a vet non-vet loan, it's going to be about 14.296, just about 14.296% down payment. And
he hasn't calculated that before.
That's just the way that the pooling works.
There's a reason he is the VA loan nerd.
Yeah. So don't walk in thinking it will be 12.5, right? That's just part of the guarantee when you consider how Ginnie pooling funds works like, and don't try to get into this because you're going to lose your mind. It boils down to, we'll call it 14.3. Let's use a happy number. 14.3% is a total all-in down payment based off of the purchase price. Okay. That number will be less if it's a veteran, non-veteran, because the VA is guaranteeing 2/3 of this now. All right. And then obviously the flip of that is the vet, non-vet. Non-vet, they'll guarantee 1/3. But yeah, so
you can be on a loan with a veteran.
yeah.
The easy way to understand it, besides the 14.9256%,
296.
is that if you are on that VA loan with a veteran and you are not married,
Yep.
that you will likely be bringing some type of down payment. And that could be around that 14.296 percent.
Exactly.
But you can be on the loan. So if you ever hear that you cannot, you can.
Without question, you can. Where we are seeing this more than ever before are multi-gen homes. A lot of families are having to pool money to get a house in today's market. So we've got older veterans, whether they're, Vietnam era veterans or even my generation, folks, if it's a World War II vet, be kind. Don't do that to them. But if it's a Vietnam era vet, a Korean War vet, they're pooling their resources with their kids because the kids want that veteran closer to home. So that's where a lot of this is coming into play. And that may very well be veteran and veteran, father, son, mother, child, whatever the case may be. We got multiple veterans and a non-veteran, so to speak. So again, I can't tell you how many times I have been told by other lenders, you cannot do it. I want to be very clear. You absolutely can be a non-veteran and a veteran on a VA loan when you have questions, and Lord knows you're going to. Call me, call Joey, VA Loan Nerd, call Andrew Augustiniak, Neighborhood Loans. All of us can connect you to the other. We want to be your resource. Reach out.